welcome back to A Little Crazy. Thanks for joining me. It's time we got on with this carpet trim, the one I call monkey fur. Its colour is wheat. This is the particular colour that I think would go well with what I'm planning in here. It's a 4-way stretch and it's by Harrison Trim. I've used Harrison Trim's carpet liner before, found it very good. This is a bit of a difficult area to tackle, so we'll have to put a little thought into how this is going to go. So yeah, this is the area I'm going to start on. Now I've got enough there to do the whole bloody Titanic, but I suspect that would get a little bit damp in there, so we're going to put it in here. I've got extra because I've got another project I'm doing. So what I've done is I've washed down the area at the moment, and as you can see with the bow shape, let's move this out of the way, it's 2 meters wide, this material, and coming down from this top corner down to that edge, across where the seating or the bed goes, and then down the front edge is less than 2 meters. So there is enough to do in one go across there. The only problem is obviously the boat does taper in, so I don't know what effect that's going to have on the material. Could be loads of folds by the time I get down to this area here, so I may well have to do this in sections, but what I'll do is I'll cut the material down enough to do from this front edge all the way to the front, so if need be, after I've put it down the sides, to see what the material's reacting like down the bottom, if need be I may need to cut along there and do this section as a separate piece. And then obviously at the front, I've got so much material here, it's getting in the way. Obviously at the front where it tapers in, that's going to be slightly different. Now I might be able to do it with the piece that comes across here, and then perhaps put a line or join straight down the center if I'm skilled enough. It is me doing it. Same thing the other side, obviously, meeting round, and then that front section, I don't know, I may have to do that front section there as a separate piece as well, but we're going to just have to see how we go, see what works, see what doesn't. But it is 4-way stretch, so it's quite forgiving stuff. It's just that these shapes and angles are going to be quite a thing to do. I'm also going to go into the lockers here, so come down to this edge trim across there, and then obviously when these go back, makes it look quite neat. Now the only thing is I realised that the distance of this down here and the thickness of this wood, this may not lay nice and flat after it's done, so in which case I will have to take a piece off the edge underside just to lower this down, but I can't take too much off because as you realise, you make the wood thinner and thinner, then it's just going to collapse in, which is not going to be a good idea. But again, we'll have to look at that as we go. Front edge here is where the pull out bed bit goes, and as I said to you, I'm going to do a bit like the bunk bed where it has slats. So I've already got these oak sides which will go along there, not that way round, I don't know what way round it goes now, but it goes on there like that sort of thing, and then I've got to do the slots for the slats to go in, but that'll be after we get this lining down. What I'm going to do is start with that top corner, and then I'll just spray and pin along this first section, and that'll give me an idea of how we're going, because then I can sort of smooth it down see how it's going to go, see how the folding's going to go, and we'll work it out that way. And I'll probably end up going all the way along, probably leave a bit of a gap there because of this turning round here, probably leave up to about there, see how we go, and then start coming down this edge. Okay, so that's the first piece cut out. Hopefully I haven't cut either too short or too long, because that will just lead to waste. And I don't for 1 minute think that that top edge is straight, so we'll just see how we go out with this. Alright, that's roughly how we want it. This is the spray adhesive I'm using. This is Trim Fix. It's high temperature resistant, up to 110 centigrade, and it's widely used in the industry when doing car trims, boat trims, camper van trims. It's the one I used before, it's the one that worked with me before, so it's the one I'll use again. So under this section I'm just going to go up to that batten there, and then the ceiling butts up to that. It should be enough to come around that end, but as I say, it all depends on this, how much that lays nice and flat and goes with the bottom section there. All this is in the lap of the gods at the moment. So that's the first wall trimmed to the corner. Looks okay. Take this bit out the middle now and give it a bit of relief. So that's how to go on there. That's actually not too bad. That's pretty flat across there. Would have helped if I didn't get gloop all over it. Right, second plan. As you can see, I'm now cut the triangle out of here instead of trying to get right down to the bottom, which I knew I wouldn't be able to do in the centre anyway. What I'm going to do is do the rest of it in one piece there. Trim that in, then I will only have a small cut there in the material and a small cut here the other side of this hatch, and then this section here put in as a separate, but I'll do that side first. So I'll take that front hatch out and then have a go at sticking the whole lot in one go, see how that goes.
As I say, I'll have to tidy these up when I get some more blades. Right, this is the last piece on this side of the wall. But I've been talking to my mate Hindsight, and where I was blunting my knife going round these hatches earlier, of course I didn't need to do that, did I? The sensible thing would have been to make cuts into the corners and then fold the material under the hatch. Made a better edge to it as well, so hindsight's a good thing. But I've still got 5 hatches to do, so I should do that on all the rest of them. Should have to go around cleaning up afterwards, get all the overspray off. Okay, that one's done. So that was what I was saying about the cutting around the hatches. Should have done that before. It is easier. I couldn't spray too well from the inside of that, obviously, but if it does come untacked in places, I'll just do it by hand
with a different type of double stick glue. But yeah, it makes an easier, better finish on there, so that's what I'll do for the rest of them. So what I attempt to do here is come straight across this bit and down the side, then cutting across here and across down here to where it meets up the other part of the carpet liner, and then that will be the only joint here. This one will go straight down to the bottom, so then it will meet up with the corner. Nice cut along here if I can. It's not overly important if it doesn't make a nice straight one, because obviously it's going underneath. Yeah, I wish I was doing these like this in the beginning, but as I say, hindsight's great. You learn by your mistakes and improve going forward. Right, got that other side cut in, and what I did do in the end was cut that bottom piece off. Where it was, where's the joint there? It was joining up there and then going right down to the floor. But what I'd missed is as it came down here and it got near to the floor, it kicked out. Must have been when I'd done a bad cut early on a piece I was cutting off. So cut my losses, cut it off, it's going behind that wood, and then that triangle will hopefully get done in one piece. And I've got to do this end and the other side to finish the bed area off. Got this side done where the socket is, and as you can imagine, with that socket it was a pig. Unfortunately I couldn't put the camera anywhere that you could see where I wasn't blocking the view, so let's do that without. Might fare better on the other side if I put the camera on this side. As for the top piece, I've left this at the moment. This is going to have a cap going right round it, as I've mentioned in one of the other videos before. The cap that I originally got for it was a rubberized cap. I'm not sure whether I'm going to put that one on or another one, but that's to be decided. So I've left trimming this down, because obviously where it sits on the top of there, you know, it's not going to go over the top, although possibly it could, I don't know. If it finishes at the far edge, and then the cap is probably easier to get on actually, but anyway, don't have to decide that right at the moment. That's another job waiting to happen. Right, I think I'll do this one as a reverse to what I've been doing, where I've been doing the top, dropping it down. I think I'll do the bottom, because it is a straight edge down the bottom, and then cutting and trimmings up the top. I'll leave this bit overflapping, perhaps cut it down a little bit, but, and then there's just one strip to put in there at the edge, but that'll be part of the one that goes by my legs. It's important I get the bottom of this correct first. Okay, so that side's done. Now up here is the lead that I was cutting the hole for, not this long one, this small one. This is for a reading light up here. Then it's going to have a headboard on there, so most of that will be covered anyway. Same with the other side. Well, the other side's got a socket as well, but it will have a reading light at the top as well. So all I've got to do now really is this bottom part of this bed area, so I won't bother filming that. I'll show you when I've finished. Just got to figure out what to do there, and I've got to do round the bottom like I did up that end, and then I think what I'll do is spray down the centre of these and chop them with a pair of scissors. Right, I've popped on that front piece. I was going to do that in a couple of sections, save material, but I thought, well, I'd rather see nice edges than cut lines, so I've done it all in one, and that one laps round to the bed on that side. Still all needs cleaning up and adhesive. Now, what I've been looking at is, this is the piece that covers the anchor locker hatch. What I've done is cut down these bits on the back across like so, which these are fine for on there, but I can try and cut them down a bit more. But I'm going to do these edges on this curved bit. So as I said before, I'm going to gloop inside there, squeeze them tight together, push down these edges on both sides so that the material is as tight as I can possibly get it touching each other. And then on another channel on YouTube, I saw them using a different pair of scissors, and that is for this cut. So she called them duck-billed scissors, so I looked for those, and this is what I've got. So as you can see, one's got an edge like that, looks like a duck's bill, which is why they call it duck's bill. And you go along and trim these bits down further. Now, I don't know whether the woman's material that she was using was lighter weight than mine, but I've trimmed this one down, you can hardly see that, and I've used these, but I've got to get this one down a bit further. As I say, it's not that important on these bits, because this is going anchor locker side, so you won't see those. But when I get to doing that, I need quite a tight cut. I'm going to probably put a trim over it anyway, but you still don't want a bump underneath the trim. But let's have a go at this with these. Oh, but let's got them down further. Obviously a lighter material would cut easier, and a bigger pair of scissors would do a better job. But you can see I've taken quite a bit of material off that as well. It should be easier going around that headboard bit, because instead of cutting flat down on it, I've got just a thin piece to come across like so. So I mean, it'd be basically like doing this end. So hopefully it'll do a pretty good job. But you can see all the excess I've got off there, look, with those scissors. So it's a good idea. Expect to be quite difficult doing that bit. Might have to do something else there. As this turns round, it's going to get more and more difficult to keep to the flat.
So that's the edge of it. It's slightly raised there. I can have another go at that, I suppose. But well, that's not bad. I don't think that's looking pretty tidy. Whether I leave it like that or put a cap on it, like I said before, don't have to decide that right at the moment. One job at a time. Right, so we're now over to this side. What to do? I think my favourite idea at the moment is to put a thin board right across there. I don't know if I've mentioned this before actually in this video. This is getting quite long, so forgive me if there's a lot of speeded up sections in this because it's taken so long. But anyway, so if I've got a thin board going across there, tapering in, and perhaps some anchor wood up that end, same up there, going up past the piece I blacked out previously, and then down around the speaker there, and then covering that board, which will hide that. I mean, the whole thing's going to be hidden anyway behind the backrest, but it's the top. If I stand back a bit, it's the top area, because I wasn't planning to come up with the backrest any higher than where it goes up to that black. But as you know, things change as we go on. But yeah, I'll cut a piece of ply for that area, pop that on loosely, and just see how that looks. And it won't hurt to cover a piece, stick it on there. It can always be changed at the end. This will have to be taken off anyway, because as I said before, there's more wires to go down there. So, but we'll see how we do with that. This is the type of thing I mean for the cover of the down pipes, which brings the electrics down from the electric cupboard, and it also shows that those brackets can be covered as well. I think that will be, once covered, much neater. As I said, I'll put some bracing behind at each end. You've obviously got the two centre down conduits holding the centre, and then some bracing up this end, so that when you're actually sitting on that, because it's quite a thin board, it's a 3mm board, but when you're sitting there, remember you've got the back cushion here, and when you're sitting on there, it's not going to be all flexible like that. It'll be all in place. I'll cover the whole thing, I think, in the lining. I was toying with the idea of just going up as far as the speaker and coming across here, and then colouring that black again to keep the line coming around from the side unit. But no, I think it'd be better if I cover it all. Don't think I want to go as far as dyeing the top bit of the lining, but yeah, I'll get that covered. I'll just check the edges first to make sure that I've got enough distance for the material to go around it. Take a piece off if not. I'll get that covered, get the pieces put in, and get it screwed on there. So that's the end result then. There will be some screws popped into it at the sides, so it will go back about I don't know, 0.5 centimetre to 1 centimetre, but basically that's what it's going to look like. Obviously you're going to see the screws, because that panel is a removable panel to get to the electrics. But yeah, very pleased with that. I'll just do a big clean up and show you what it looks like. That's all the carpet lining, or monkey fur, complete now. I've given it a quick clean up. So quite nice. And now allows me to get on with the other jobs that I need to do. As for cleaning, you can go on YouTube and you'll see some really wonderful stuff on there that people say to
to clean the spray glue off the front of the carpet lining. Cost you a fortune, a lot of them. Simply use white spirit, dab it onto the glue bits, leave it for 30 seconds or so, and then gently wipe it off with a microfiber, and that will get it all nice and clean. Don't rub hard, don't want to take all the furriness out of your carpet, just a gentle rub will do. Right, on to the next jobs. So that's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Sorry it was a bit long, which is why I had to speed it up, but it did take me about 3 days altogether, on and off, to complete this headlining gear. Now that's done, it allows me to complete the ceilings, so I'll be able to vinyl those ones. Before that I need to put a large cleat on the front of the boat, because I need to do it up from the ceiling area, so I'll do that first, and then I'll be able to do the ceilings. These in here haven't been cut yet, so I'll get these measured up, and then it's ready for all the vinyling around the sides. Curtains and other things, the finishing stuff, will be later on. So thanks for watching, please like and subscribe, it does really help us out, and we'll see you again. Bye bye.